Good morning, all of you beautiful nerds from around the world. What is up, everybody? It's Josh, and you are watching the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live, the very best way to start your nerdy day. On today's show, we've got some crazy news about a Star Wars game. A secret Star Wars game that's been leaked about. Maverick Pilgrim's really going to enjoy when we talk about this. We're going to break down all the full details. I also want to go over the set photos from yesterday for Loki and the Batmobile reveal as well. I want to see what you guys think about that. So we'll go into the theater and we will go over some of those set photographs. I also have a little rant, just a little Star Wars rant. Some stuff on my mind, stuff I'm not super thrilled about. So we're gonna rant just a little bit about Star Wars, and we will save time for Q&A as well. What is going on, everybody? Good morning. Jacob is here. Bad Wolf Ops, Jason, Drum and Company, Jareth Loveberry, that's a cool name, Hector, Wavy Dave Topic, Internet Sado. Did I bring your blackboard? I've got a whiteboard, actually. I do have a whiteboard. David, what's up? Jack Jones. Yeah, I do apologize, guys, about no show yesterday. Chet, man. Chet. Got Justin in here. We've got Tara in here. Should be a good time. We got a good crew in here. Bang, bang, bang. Says Blank Black, the ungay version. Okay. All right, bro. All right. So how's everybody doing? Yesterday was depressing. I apologize. Guys. I apologize. But we're in here today. We're rocking and a-rolling in the studio. I'm very happy to be here. I want to know right off the bat, guys, as we get into this, what are the thoughts of everyone about the Batmobile reveal? What are the thoughts? What are you guys thinking? Because, we did a little video about it yesterday that, nobody saw. Nobody was interested in our Batmobile video. But check it out if you are interested. It is over on the main channel. We did a little breakdown of it. Talked about how it also might confirm some leaks and stuff as well. But I've been seeing some people really loving it, and I've been seeing some people really hating on it. And so I want to just get an impression. If you're coming into the chat right now, I'd really like to know, what do you guys think about the Batmobile? What is the thoughts? I'm gonna look in here. I'm gonna read some stuff in chat. Let's see. Looks decent. I like it. It's fine. Batmobile is fine. Tara is freaking out, of course. Very hit and miss. Batmobile looks sick. Not amazing, but not terrible. I dig the Batmobile. It's okay. I'm staying emotionless on Batman. Just getting in. What's up, Mav? How you doing, brother? We're talking about the Batmobile. We're talking about our feelings about the Batmobile. I'm just reading in chat right now. I'm just interested in what everybody thinks about it. Justin says, I like the Tumblr. Yeah, I like the Tumblr a lot more than I like this. Reminds me of The Incredibles, which is great. Okay. That's fair. Reminds me of the old Tim Burton. Yeah. RG says it reminds me of the modern-day Adam West Batmobile. Put it on screen. You haven't seen it? You haven't seen it yet? First of all, why are we in here? Why aren't we chatting? Chat, man, you gotta watch it, bro. You gotta watch it. After yesterday, you're on thin ice, chat. You understand me? You're on thin ice! Jeez. Put it on screen. I mean, I guess we could put it on screen. Hasn't everybody, most people have seen it, huh? Here, give me 1 second here. This chat's doing whatever the hell he's doing, so we'll get it on screen for you. So, here, let's just put it up. Take up the whole screen with a big old Batmobile. Let's just put this on screen for the chat. Okay. Here it is. Looks kind of cool, huh? It definitely is interesting. It's an interesting take. I am not so sure I'm super into it. I got to be honest. But that is it right there. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to do an audible at the line here. Chet, put me back on the big screen. And pause the music. Okay. Check this out. I've got a pitch for you guys, okay? Because I've been struggling a little bit with the Batman. The whole thing. Like the suit, not super crazy about it. Catwoman's suit, especially not crazy about it. The Batmobile, just going to be real, not that crazy about it, okay? But I came up with a solution last night. I was like lying in bed. I was just thinking. I was like, how can this work? Like, why can I not be into the Batman? Here's the pitch, okay? This dude, it's going to be revealed in the movie that this is not Robert Pattinson Batman. This is not actually a Batman. This is some crazy guy that gets in a bat suit and that drives around a car that's supposed to look like a bat. Okay? So, now I know you might be saying, like, that is what Batman is. No. Batman is so much more than that. But I think what they're going for with this aesthetic and what they're going for in this show or in this movie is that this dude is not going to be Batman. He's going to be some crazy dude that's just in a bat suit. And I think, honestly, this is the way they should do this film. He's terrible at being Batman. He's terrible. The Gotham City Police Department all think he's a joke. Everybody thinks he's horrible. And a lot of the villains and the things that he's doing are not even real. And then at the end of the film, he gets put into Arkham Asylum with none other than the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. And then they can both be just crazy postmodern takes on these characters and have a big adventure that all takes place just in their imagination. That's it. That's how you fix the current Batman. We did it. We did it, folks. We fixed it. We fixed the current Batman.
Are you not entertained?
We fixed it.
Are you not entertained? Is this
That's
why you're here?
That's how we're gonna do it. That's how we're gonna do it, folks. Yeah. Some people are really into it. Some people aren't so into it. All right, look, guys, we got to get into some news. It's that time. Here we go. It's the craziest news of the day. Yo, this news is crazy. Project Maverick. Maverick Pilgrim's probably excited about this, as I said before. But look, this is actually really, really wild. There is this secret game, this secret Star Wars game that not a lot of people know about, okay? Now, this is really interesting. It all broke when a PSN Twitter account that auto-uploads information that hits the PlayStation Network released details about this game, okay? So I'm going to read right here from this article on Gematsu. Unannounced Star Wars Project Maverick That's you get one. You get one, Mav. I can't believe it. Maverick Pilgrim stuck in my brain. Like I really like this. Unannounced Star Wars Project Maverick PlayStation Store listing leak update. Okay? Now, I'm going to read right from this article here. It's very interesting. An unannounced Star Wars game titled Star Wars Project Maverick, not Maverick Pilgrim, has been added to the PlayStation Store in Europe. According to the Twitter account, PSN released a robot that tracks the games added to the PlayStation Store both publicly and behind the scenes, okay? The developer of the Twitter robot has shared the content ID for the Star Wars Project Maverick PlayStation Store listing, which allows us to view its database files and extract the following information. The content is a bunch of numbers, which suggests that it is a beta test version. That's really interesting. PlayStation VR support is listed as no, meaning it is not a virtual reality game. The play together parameter is listed as 5, suggesting it has multiplayer. Play together is this feature which enables you to start a game directly from the party screen. There's also MP3 of the background music. that it is in it, which I actually have not checked out. But that's not all, folks. That's not all the craziness when it comes to this project here. This article spotlights a little bit of the info, but interestingly enough, another scooper out there in the world of Star Wars, someone that we're really familiar with here at the channel, Bespin Bulletin, recently posted about this as well. Okay, so I'm putting up their post from Instagram. It says, now you're probably wondering what exactly this is. Well, it's the game from EA Motive. I'm told by a source that this game is basically a combat flight simulator. Since the discovery of Project Maverick, Jason Schreier of Kotaku has also said that the project is that of EA Motive. Personally, I might have jumped the gun on the release date previously. I reported 2021, but that could be incorrect. Sources told me the next EA Star Wars game was releasing in 2021. The next Star Wars game was by EA Motive, and EA themselves revealed in an earnings call that the next Star Wars title from the publisher would release in the fiscal year of 2022. Okay, now that technically can be later on in 2021 into 2022. But it may still be 2021. However, it's unlikely EA would tease a title this far out. Okay, now, when they're talking about Jason Schreier, what's interesting about that is that there was an article written, it must have been a couple of weeks ago at this point, where Jason Schreier talked about yet another Star Wars game that was canceled by EA, okay? This is a running theme with EA and honestly with Star Wars in general, which we're going to get into my frustrations about in just a second. But suffice it to say, there's a lot of production problems when it comes to Star Wars games and movies, okay? There was a game being developed within the engine for Battlefront 2, and it was going to be like a Battlefront 2 type game that could be single player, and it was going to have adventure and story mode and all these cool things. Now, the idea was EA started developing this and taking assets from different games like Visceral or just other like assets that they own because studios had developed them, okay? And they started to develop this game. The whole idea was they wanted this game to hit by the end of this year, by the end of 2020. And the reason is because new consoles are coming out later this year, okay? And so EA was like, hey, new Star Wars game launches with consoles. That's going to move. That's going to move some copies. We're going to make some sales. It became clear that the developer was not going to be able to make a full freaking game out of assets that they didn't even create within the time frame to get it to hit in 2020. And you know what EA said? They didn't say, oh, let's wait. Let's do it right. Maybe we'll release it a little bit later in 2021. That's fine. Let's at least do it right. Have a good game. No, EA said, oh, you can't hit holiday season 2020? Well, guess what? You're fired. You're out of here. And they literally moved that studio off of that and put them on Anthem, actually, which is really interesting as well. But what all of this means, or what's interesting about this, is when Jason Schreier was talking about that other Star Wars game that had gotten the axe, he also mentioned that there were multiple Star Wars games in development right now, and he mentioned a game that was very different and sort of a smaller game than what EA had been working on previously. He confirmed to some people on Twitter that Project Maverick is exactly what he was talking about when he was talking about that. Now, as Bespin Bulletin went on to say, they believe that it's going to be a flight simulator, and that would make a lot of sense. There's a lot of buzz and rumblings that that's what it's going to be. Some kind of a flight simulator. But as far as the actual news itself, guys, that is the craziest news of the day. A hidden Star Wars game that could come out late this year or into next year that's supposed to be sort of a smaller game that is different from the normal EA way of doing things, and it's going to be probably a flight simulator. And so I want to go back into the chatting with you guys, and I want to know, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this game, and are you excited for it at all? Because I got to tell you, I would love a flight simulator. I would absolutely love that. I loved Rogue One, or what was it? It wasn't Rogue One. What was the X-Wing game that was on Nintendo 64? Why am I blanking on that? I might have been Rogue One. Was it called Rogue One before the movie even came out? Either way, it was really, really fun. And so I would love for this kind of a game to come out. And it makes me think, guys, Rogue Squadron, thank you, Paul. Why wouldn't they actually get this going on? Why does Star Wars do this all the time? Like, their current attitude with canon and with video games in general has been so weird. Like, how long has Lucasfilm been a part of Disney? Since 2014? Where's all the games? Where's all the games? We've had, what, 3 games total? 3 games total, and honestly, this leads me in to some frustrations I have with Star Wars. Guys, I think it's time. I think we got to do a little rant. Chat, pause the music, man. Pause the music. Whoa. Chet, what are you doing? What do you mean you didn't have this sized out right? Oh, my God. That's 2. That's 2. You get 1 more. You get 1 more. And I'm very disappointed in you, for the record. Folks, my lawyers have asked me to read this at the start of this. That's not it. Where are you at? There we go. The following segment is meant to be parody and performance and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the Den of Nerds LLC. Please submit all of your butthurt and general frustrations to us on social media. Folks, Star Wars needs a drastic fucking change. A drastic fucking change. You guys know, if you've been watching the show, you've been seeing, my frustrations with Star Wars have been so immense that I haven't even been able to properly cover Star Wars currently. The state of Star Wars is tragically bad, and I'm sick of mincing words about it. The High Republic announcement was very poorly received. I'm excited for it. I know many of you are excited for it as well, but guys, it's too obvious. You look around the internet, you get a metric for how fans are feeling, you look at what's going on, it's too obvious. And by the way, it's not just people that are mad about diversity being written on a whiteboard. Of course, there's that crowd, and they're mad. And you know, that just is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not even going to touch that, because the thing that's really crazy to me is all the groups of what I would consider to be reasonable Star Wars fans that are also just not feeling the High Republic. I saw EU fans talking about how this seems to be just a watered-down version of the EU. I saw many fans talking about, hey, why aren't more of the EU writers, some of the great writers like John Jackson Miller, why aren't these guys helping to create this new EU? If you want to do the EU, why aren't you doing the EU? I saw them say that, and to be honest with you, it's a fair point. I saw a lot of other Star Wars fans saying, oh, High Republic, a lot of planning. Looks like you've been planning that for a while. So why on God's green earth didn't you do that with the sequel trilogy? You know, the handling of the legacy characters of the original trilogy. Why didn't you spend some of that time and plan that out? And you know what? I can't really blame people for saying that. I can't blame people for having that opinion. Why wasn't this done with the movies? Then, Disney goes on to clarify that the High Republic is not connected to any movies, any television, or any video games. So why the hell should fans be excited about it? And I know from behind the scenes that that's not even true, but it would appear that Lucasfilm is trying to protect themselves from another situation where they promise too much and underdeliver. And so therefore, They're downplaying the connective tissue and how this will incubate projects that will happen in movies, film, and television. But it's just another reason that people are confused, that people are not feeling it. Guys, the novelization for The Rise of Skywalker is coming out, and people are holding up every little thing, and instead of talking about how cool it is, how it contextualizes things, and how it means this, that, and the other thing, they're holding it up and just continuing to talk about how Star Wars is fucking up. About how all this stuff should have been explained in the movie. It looks like retcons. It looks really messy. I've been seeing it, guys. I've been looking at it. It's blowing my mind. If you look around and see the types of people, the personalities, the channels, the outlets, the blogs, the people that are negative on Star Wars right now, or the people that are meh on Star Wars right now, it isn't just the people mad about diversity written on a whiteboard. It's a lot of people. And I think one of the big reasons that the High Republic announcement fell on mostly deaf ears, a lot of skeptical ears, is that it's following The Rise of Skywalker, which is a controversial Star Wars film. Again, I love the movie, but I can look around and acknowledge that that ain't the case for a lot of Star Wars fans. It really isn't. It really is not. They didn't come out and make any kind of an announcement in January or February about what the future movies are going to be. What is the state of the company? What is the MO of Star Wars moving forward? And because there's no clarity over there, when they then go to make the High Republic announcement, which looks like, hey, we did all of this work, but for comic books and novels, of course it's going to frustrate fans. And the truth is, where we're at now is that this is death by 1,000 cuts. 1,000 little things that they have done wrong and not addressed has caused the narrative to shift. There are a few people out there that are still excited about Star Wars, still pumped about Star Wars. For sure. I know that you people are out there. I'm one of them. But guys, we can't deny what is going on right now. And the ironic thing here is, despite me learning recently that a lot of the problems with Star Wars, a lot of things going on with Star Wars are actually not Kathleen Kennedy's fault. Like, for real. For real. I've been told some things really interesting. I'm like, oh, so it's not completely her fault. So the irony here is that at a time where I am more personally convinced than ever that Kathleen Kennedy is not the cause of all of these problems, I am also, ironically, more convinced than ever that it doesn't matter and that she needs to go. She needs to go, and we need to put someone else in charge. And again, this has very little to do with actually Kathy. It has to do with the state of Star Wars. And as long as she is still there, as long as no big changes have been made, the sins of the prequel trilogy, the sins of the sequel trilogy will hang over everything else that comes out for Star Wars. Until there's a reason to shift the narrative, until there's a reason for people to think, oh, this might be different. Oh, this might be new. Until those reasons exist, Star Wars is going to continue to have the problems that it's having right now. She needs to go, or she needs to elevate someone else like Johnny Favs, my main man, Mandalorian creator Johnny Favs. He needs to be put in charge of Star Wars or put in charge of creative or elevated to some position, and they need to announce that. They need to talk about what that means. Even if Kathy is still there until her contract runs out in 2021, totally cool. Do what you're doing with Bob Iger and Bob Chapek. Move Bob Iger out, move Chapek in to handle day-to-day, and allow Bob Iger to hang out there and coach up Chapek. Allow Kathy Kennedy to still be there and coach up Johnny Favs and whatever is going on next. But folks, I am so frustrated. I am so frustrated when I look around. Because the High Republic is a good idea. The way it'll tie into movies and television and things down the road, that's a cool idea. But until a freshness, a newness, a new hope is out there for Star Wars fans, Star Wars is going to continue to be dragged through the mud. And this is by its own fans. Its own fans. And of course, yes, I'm frustrated with the fans, but ultimately I am frustrated with Lucasfilm and Disney. How did you think that was going to go? you know? And so that's it, guys. That's all I got on this rant. It's very frustrating for me as a Star Wars fan right now to be seeing what is going on and to get nothing from Lucasfilm. Like they're supposed to be signing this big name. They need to bring in this big name. Why do you think they can't sign a big name? Right? Why do you think they can't figure this out? It's because the goddamn building is on fire and nobody is acknowledging it. It's mind-blowing. It's blowing me away. It's blowing me away. But that's it. That's my rant. Chet, what do you think? Was that too harsh? Was that too bad? No? It was okay? All right, cool. Cool. We were worried about that. We were worried about that a little bit. We went over the script and everybody was like, hey, maybe you shouldn't go too crazy on that one. But that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. It's like, and we could talk about this a little bit. I'd be interested to see, what you guys think. Yeah, no, Jacob says, I almost want to live in a world where it's just me and 5 other fans left and everyone else ignores Star Wars. Dude, look, Jacob, I get you, and I think you and I see a lot of the same. We're excited about this, right? But look, man. Look, here's the thing. How can you really blame some of these people? Like, agreed. Getting triggered by diversity on a whiteboard is ridiculous. However, Star Wars clearly has problems, right? And depending on where you stand on that, your mileage may vary. But at the end of the day, you can't blame people for having problems with Star Wars right now and then coming up with a reason why. And if they truly believe that it's because of Kathleen Kennedy's, feminist agenda and stuff like that, then of course they're going to be triggered by any little thing that makes them, again, think of that, again, see that. And the thing about Kathy is, I think she's doing fine behind the scenes. She's doing fine as producing. She's doing fine with these things. But the PR has been awful, bro. Awful. Like, she comes out and says that they have no source material while also ripping off a massive EU story in Dark Empire with what they did with Palpatine. So it's like such a disconnect. They also killed the EU, and they're recreating their own EU, but they don't have source material. Like, you can just see why people are frustrated and angry. And again, it's a lot of little things. It's little things that have added up to this. And I'm not hating, because my honest to God thing is, I think, as I've just said, the more I hear from behind the scenes, the more I'm like, wow, that's actually not really her fault. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They need an overhaul. They need fresh blood. They need a reason for a bunch of people, because the real problem is not the people that are actively frustrated and being very vocal online about different things. It's actually more the people that just have apathy and that just aren't into Star Wars anymore. You know what I mean? That see all of this stuff and all of the bickering and arguing online and are just like, I'd rather not. And that's probably why a lot of these people that are doing that they can't sign, I probably don't want to sign because of that. So it's weird, man. It's weird, because I'm literally at a place where I'm like, wow, like, it's so weird that I know all these things now, and I know, hey, it's actually not as much of Kathy's fault as we all think. That Kathy's trying to do the right thing, that Kathy wants to take the time, that Kathy wants to create things for the fans and do all these different things. But it honestly doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter, guys. So, it's rough. I'm not happy to be where we're at. But look, I'm just telling you, man, until we get a big change, like, you're just not, it's not going to get better. It's not going to get better. Like, I've looked at some of these people that are dogging on Lucasfilm lately and that are dogging on the High Republic, and I'm like, holy crap. These are people that Phantom Menace people call shills. They call them shills. And they're turning on Star Wars. Well, how do we get here? How do we fucking get here? I don't want to be on this ride anymore. I want to go home. Anyway, let's get into the theater. Let's get into the theater. Everybody come on in. Trickle in. Trickle in. Get your popcorn. Cell phones away. Trickle into the theater, folks. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, we're here to have fun, right? We're here to have fun. Let's not talk about Star Wars anymore. I don't want to talk about Star Wars. Ah, man, good stuff in here. We'll get into Q&A in a little bit because I see such good conversation going on in the chat, and I do want to address it, and I want to go over some things in the chat, okay? Yeah, chat, clean the damn theater. By the way, Russell, did you see you have 2 L's in your name now in the outro video? Nailed it. Okay, so yesterday, a bunch of leaked set photographs came out for the Loki series, okay? Now, there's a ton of cool stuff. I have this photograph up here. Look, I think the biggest deal is we now can see and we now know for sure that he's going to be working with the Time Variance Authority. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be working with the Time Variance Authority. We weren't sure. How is that going to work? It looks like he's obviously rolling with them. Okay? And by the way, I think some people think that this... Let's get this thing going on here. Some people think that this is Owen Wilson. And what's weird is, do you guys remember they had said stuff that, like, if people saw him on set, it would, like, spoil his character or whatever? But it looks like he's just wearing, like, normal pants, right? Like, I don't know. Doesn't it look like he's just wearing normal stuff? I don't know. Maybe this is just for part of it, and then if you see his costume later, he'll look like Kang, and we'll all fucking lose our mind. But overall, I love the fact that he's just chilling, working with the Time Variance Authority. I love the fact that he's just wearing detective-type stuff. I mean, it looks really cool. But, of course, the big deal here, the thing that everybody's talking about is... Here, let's get the better photograph, chat. Okay, there we go. Is this lady right here. Sophie D. Martina, I believe is her name. And people think this is either Enchantress or female Loki. And so I want to know, let me know in chat right now, where are you at with this? Is this female Loki or is this Enchantress? And there's a couple of different reasons why people think either one. Obviously, this right here, and if you zoom in, like if you really look at like this photo and like really pull it in, all of this stuff right here for the outfit looks very similar to Loki's stuff, okay? Looks very, very similar. And in the comic books, there was a time period in which Loki was in a female body, okay? This was after Ragnarok, after Avengers disassembled, and before the end of Siege. For a lot of Dark Avengers and that whole timeline, he was still in that female body. I think it's like towards the end of Siege, he gets back in the male body, and then they destroy him, okay? Really wild comic book story and all that, but we've heard rumors before that there was going to be female Loki in the show. However, what's interesting is there's also a lot of reports that the Enchantress is going to be in the show. And we're going to see different versions of Enchantress, possibly a young version of the Enchantress and an older version of the Enchantress. This begs the question, are we looking at here Enchantress or are we looking at female Loki? What do we think, chat? What do we think? It's neither. It's Squirrel Girl? Better not be. Let's see. It's both? Chet gets none until he cleans this place. Oh, jeez. Female Loki, Enchantress. Maybe female Loki calls herself Enchantress. Wow. Jacob's question just blew my mind. Enchantress or both? She's Wonder Woman. Enchantress's outfit is similar to Loki's. Yes, that's true. Enchantress created by Loki. Interesting. Jason says female Thor. It was Oliver Coppel's run on Thor when Asgard was in Norman, Oklahoma. Yes, I believe so, yeah. That's Owen Wilson. It's Big Bertha. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, smash that like button, by the way, guys. If you could smash that like button, it would really help us out. So, I see a lot of people pretty split on this. I see that the chat is pretty split. I don't know. I don't know what I would like more. Part of me thinks I would like Enchantress more. Part of me thinks I would like female Loki. Like, it kind of depends on what the plans are for the character later, you know? I mean, Enchantress and Loki have a cool relationship. It could be nice to see that kind of flourish. But I also, like, have this thought that, like, maybe Tom Hiddleston is done with Loki after his show and maybe some appearances in Doctor Strange 2. And so what if they're literally going to do a female Thor for some of the rest of the MCU? Also rumors that they could do like the young Thor, because young Loki does come back in sort of a child body at one point as well. So wouldn't that be kind of crazy? I don't know. It really just depends, right? It depends on what they have planned for this dude or this lady. But that is definitely the big happening out there when it comes to the MCU and the set photos that happened yesterday. Did Enchantress jump universes? Well, it's hard to say. She's diversity on a whiteboard. Nice. It's hard to say what is exactly going on with the time flipping and the like universe hopping, because it's very possible that they've got something really weird like that going on. Universe hopping. You know, we don't really know what exactly is going on with the Loki show. So who knows? Could be Enchantress from a different universe. Could be that Loki is female in a different universe. Could be like, who knows? Who knows exactly? Can I just read Jason's index cards instead? Yeah, Jason always has the best index cards, that's for sure. I swear, if you don't all smash that like button, I'll force you to read hours of Star Wars comment section. No! Say it ain't so, bro. Say it ain't so. Don't do it. Well, guys, let's just get into Q&A, guys. We got about 15 more minutes of the show. Let's jump into some questions and answers. Just go over what you guys are talking about. By the way, you got your battle brackets filled out? Do we all have our battle brackets filled out for Battle Bracket 2020? You've got until the end of the weekend. End of the weekend to submit your bracket for a chance to be the winner of the grand prize. And that would be the Infinity Gauntlet. Need the link? Let's see. Somebody drop that link in chat. One of the EPs should have it. If Ryan is still watching, I'm sure he's already on it. Doing yours today? Cool. Cool. Maybe we'll do like a stream on Sunday or something. Just another like bracket stream or something and check it out. What if there are multiple winners? Well, so here's what we're going to do. If there are multiple people that get the same score from it, then we will just randomly pick one of those people. Okay? So everybody's going to submit. There's different points that you get for getting your matchups correct. If you're at the top of the heap with all of the different points for the matchup, then we'll randomly pull someone from there. You get a drawing of the Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, that's going to be fun. There it is. There it is. Can I pin this? I can't pin things in chat. That's so weird. Ryan just dropped the link right there, guys. It's challenge.com/battlebracket 2020. Write up some index cards, brother. Do we each get a piece of the gauntlet? Everybody gets a gem. Andrew Gates says people are overacting their asses off about this High Republic news. Yeah. I mean, I could see that. It's weird for me, man. Look, by the way, I'm going to talk in the video. The first video on the main channel today is going to be about Star Wars and the Palpatine clone thing. Super interesting stuff coming out of the novelization. The novelization has very interesting tidbits and clarifications. But again, the bigger story is really how is all that information being spread around. I'm just fascinated by it, dude. Like, you look at the Twitter threads. Look at the Twitter threads. Look at what's going on Reddit. Look at where Star Wars fans are hanging out online, and it's just like awful, bro. Like, people are talking about this, that, and the other thing coming out of the novelization, and they're like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's all confusing. Doesn't even, Disney, blah, blah, blah. And I'm out. You know? So I get what you're saying. Of course, there are people overreacting, and there are a lot of people that are just buttholes about all this stuff, and they just want to continue to be buttholes. But at the same time, we can't blame people for feeling the way that they feel about these things. And the bottom line is, like, if I was just a PR company, like if I was just a company and just brought in to look at Star Wars, you could look online and see what's going on in the chatter and just be like, wow, this is horrible. You need to do something drastic to change the opinions and change the narrative out there. Crichton Smith says, good morning, Josh. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Yeah, I don't even, Jacob says he's going to delete his Twitter. I don't even have a personal Twitter. You know? I don't even have a personal Twitter, and I still get bothered because I go on there and check out what's going on, and it still frustrates me. But at least I don't comment on it. I just think until we have a new slate, like a clean slate with fans, it's going to be very difficult. Very difficult to set anything up properly. I think I read the novelization year. At the same time that Dark Empire was going on, what would make you happier with the Batman movie? You're very in the middle. What would tip you to the good side with the Batman? It's a good question, man. It's a good question. I don't know. Maybe some clarity. If they came out and said this has nothing to do with the DCEU, it's its own thing, that kind of clarity, I'd be like, okay, I can separate expectations. I can now see what it's going to be. Ultimately, I guess the thing that would make me most come on board for it would be if they came out and said, this movie is showing the evolution of Batman, and we're going to get to the Batman you know and love. Because to me, man, to be completely honest with you, I'm fucking sick of origin stories. I'm sick of doing this whole thing again. We all know who the fuck Batman is. I swear to God, if I have to watch his parents get killed one more goddamn time in a movie, I'm going to lose my shit. And it's like, why do we have to keep doing this? They just keep redoing Batman, and they think that, like, this new take on him or this new spin and this postmodern thing is going to be how we get to the flavor. That's ridiculous. If you look at the best Batman stories that are written in the comic books, look, Year One is a good example. Earth One is a good example of sort of deconstructing Batman. But there are plenty of great Batman stories that don't have to reinvent the character. You can just go with Batman. Just open scene one. Open. Batman chasing villains. It's the Batman you know. We don't have to reestablish it. It's just the Batman you know. And then we tell a great story with the Batman character. That's what would excite me. And instead, I feel like we get all these Hollywood interpretations, we want to put this new twist on this old lemon. We want to do this new thing. And I'm starting to get really worried. That Matt Reeves is like, he's Ryan Johnsoning it, basically. He's Ryan Johnsoning it, where he's sitting back and saying, like, I want everyone to never forget the Matt Reeves Batman. When they watch the Matt Reeves Batman, they'll be like, holy crap. That's where I'm at with it, man. This is too much like Punisher Batman. This is Punisher Batman. This is what Frank Castle would do. Even that... Okay. ... I think you accidentally hit those ... I think you meant okay, exclamation point, smiley face, fan gesture. I think that's what you meant. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Hey man, that's just where I'm at. Take a deep breath, my man. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. The dots are bullet holes. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. I would love to be wrong. I would love to be like, wow, this is sleek. This is a very cool take. I'm into this. This shit is dope. Holy cow, this is a new Batman. I want to live in this universe. This is the Batman that I want. But, like, I just can't help but think like I watch what we get in the MCU, which is really like an evolution of characters over time, right? Like there's just these characters, you've been with them for a long time, they evolve, they change, and it's cool to follow their journey. It feels like with Batman, it's like Willy Wonka, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Like we're telling this story, and then it's a new Batman. Oh, check out this, that really cool, new Batman. So the stream is exciting. I'm ready for a new take on Batman, says Trinity. Trinity, have you filled out your battle bracket 2020? Trinity, have you filled out your battle bracket, or are you and Fanjexture boycotting it because Ryan stole your idea? JK, of course. Ari, watched The Dark Knight last night, and it's just never going to get better than that. It might. It can. It can be better. I want it. I want good Batman. Fanjexer says, I'm definitely boycotting, and I'm really mad at you, Josh. Bro! That ain't cool. No, I'm just playing. By the way, YouTube's being so weird lately, man. And it's not just us. It's a lot of other channels, like big channels, and I see their views are down. I'm just like, holy shit. What the fuck is going on with YouTube? And honestly, it's like really frustrating the way YouTube is treating its creators and making all these changes and telling us nothing. Like if you even mention the beer illness that's going on right now, it's like destroying you, putting you in YouTube timeout. It's tough. But with all of that said, I'm super grateful. Oh my God. Pardon me. I'm super grateful to have all of you guys and to have the community that we have. And we're growing the hardcore community. Like, despite shakeups, problems, issues, views going down, fuck all that. I'm committed to putting out great content and just having fun with you guys every morning and then putting out videos where we're having fun. We're talking about the latest nerdy shit. We will ride the storm. We'll ride through the storm on this. And honestly, the support that you guys give us, just liking, sharing, commenting, being here for these videos, super chats, Patreon, all of it. It's like, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I really appreciate you guys. I really do. Did you see Taika's doing 2 projects for Netflix based in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory world? I have not seen that, but that is dope. That is awesome. What did you spill your beans on, Well? I'm just going to keep spamming about the lighthouse. This shit fucked me up. I heard it's great. By the way, guys, what am I talking about? Castlevania Season 3. Castlevania Season 3. Justin, was it you that was really into it? I know somebody was really into that. Or maybe it was Trev. Maybe it was Trev, but I got to tell you, I am super excited to be checking that out. Oh, it was Hector? Was it you, Hector? Hector, man. Hector's like always like first in on the streams, too. He's like, boom. He's like popping right in, man, Hector. Thanks for the love, brother. I appreciate it. Oh, you liked Season 1? You didn't like Season 2 as much? I really liked Season 2. It was a little bit different, but I liked it. Holy hell, somebody just joined the Nerd Vengers, I think. Not just for Josh, but I've never read a Star Wars book. Where should I start? Ooh, great question. Great question. I love it. It should be out, Trev. It should be hitting today. In fact, as soon as I knock out this Star Wars video, I might catch a couple episodes. You know what I mean, bro? You know what I mean. As far as Star Wars books to start with, it really depends on what you're looking for. There's a ton of great stuff out there. I've been going back and reading a lot of Legends stuff right now. Don't tell certain people. Don't tell people out there because they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're turning on the new canon and whatever." I'm fucking done with it. I'm done with it all. The Star Wars fans drive me fucking crazy. But I've been reading a lot of Legends stuff lately. It's really fun. But one of the best new canon books, actually, in my opinion, is Lost Stars. Okay? Now, let me pitch Lost Stars to you, my brother. And guys, make sure, everybody better make sure they go over and give some love to Second Street Marvel. He's going to be firing up his stream really soon, talking about comic books, talking about the world. I want to see as many people as I can. I'm going to hop over there as I get ready to record. I'm going to hop over there and see what Trinity's saying. So make sure you go over and support 2nd Street Marvel, friend of the channel. Okay. Here, let me pitch this to you. Lost Stars is about a young boy and a young girl that their planet joins the Empire, and they both join the Empire, but then one of them leaves the Empire and joins the Rebellion. And throughout this very long story that takes place from the time they were young kids to way, way later, I believe it sort of ends and culminates in the Battle of Jakku. But you see these two characters that are like star-crossed lovers, and you get to re-experience all of the iconic moments from Star Wars. So you get to experience the battle on Yavin and the Death Star and all of that, and get the different perspectives from the Empire and all that. You get to experience what happened on Cloud City, what's going on with the Empire and the Rebels from there. You get to experience the Battle of Endor. And so if you're a big Star Wars fan, the one reason I really like Lost Stars is you get to relive all of the dope Star Wars moments from a different point of view. And so that one is really, really cool. Okay? I really like that one. Master and the Apprentice is awesome as well. Also Claudia Gray. That goes over Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn before the Phantom Menace. Their relationship is a bit estranged. It's really interesting. There's a dope Jedi that drinks and has sex. And his name's Rael Avaros, and he's dope. Wait, where is... Yeah, why can't... Let's wrench Jason. Why don't we wrench Jason? It's a good question. So I really like that one. I also love Lords of the Sith. Lords of the Sith is great, and it starts out with one of the freaking coolest scenes ever, where Darth Vader blasts open and literally jumps out of his TIE fighter and has this TIE fighter slam into this other ship and cause this hole in it. And then he literally, with the Force, like, brings himself in to that other ship and then goes in there and, like, murders a bunch of people. And I got to tell you, as a big fan of Darth Vader, holy crap, Lords of the Sith is dope. So there's a few ideas right there, okay? But anyways, folks, we're going to call it there. Let me see if I can pull up Trinity's chat. I'll put a link over here. Looks like he's not quite live yet, is he? Let's wait a minute. See if Trinity goes live, and then we'll put the link in chat and send it everybody over there, okay? Charles Soule stuff is great. I agree. Smash that like button, everybody. Yo, you guys are amazing. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for the community. We're going to, like I said before, where's the Patreon link? I can drop that. Give me 1 second. As I said before, guys, the first video today is going to be talking about all this Palpatine clone business, okay? It's like, it's crazy to me. Like, did you guys know about this? I mean, technically, Rey's father was a clone. Was a clone of Palpatine that was not Force sensitive. It's like wild. It's absolutely nuts. So I want to talk about all of that because I haven't really commented on it. To be honest with you, I haven't commented on much with Star Wars lately because I've been so frustrated and exhausted. But that's not fair. It's not fair to the fans that want us to be talking about this. So I'm going to get on the mic and I'm going to tell you what I think about all this clone business and break it all down, okay? And let's see here. Where are you at, Patreon? Link. Watch. One of the mods probably already has it in there. But doing my due diligence. There you go. There's the Patreon link. And you know what else I'm going to start doing on Patreon is giving, like, my unfettered thoughts about things. So, like, yesterday when I was, like, kind of down about the Batmobile, I was going to literally do a little stream on Patreon, a little video, Just being like, look, I can't say this, but this is what I'm really feeling. Captain Pennsylvania is so late. That's okay. Hey, man, it's all good, baby. Jacob's Quest says, I run a Star Wars channel and I cringe at trying to talk about it in these heated times. Yep. I hear you, brother. Rey should have been a failed clone experiment by Palpatine, was saved by people because she didn't have the Force. Yeah, that would have been interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff that they could have done. I just think, like, this is, again, why we need to just have a big change, is because until we do, man, like, I just feel like all of the sins of the sequel trilogy, all the little things that they did wrong, it's going to haunt them. You know what I mean? Trinity, where are you at? Why are you not live, bro? I'm trying to link it. I'm trying to send the link out. Oh, he's going at noon today? Okay. So he's going at noon. All right. All right, well, I'll copy this into chat. Yeah, here before the raid, but he said noon. It's set for an hour from now, Trinity. Trinity, no! All right, there's the link, everybody. Josh, can we have a Marvel/DC fan casting chat at some point? You know what, Lavis? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Star Wars Santa says, I'm late to the party. Don't worry about it, brother. Don't worry about it, Star Wars Santa. We love you around here, man. We love you around here. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for today's stream. Make sure you go check out Trinity. He does that, then it's 11? What? Really? How? What? For real, for real? Okay. Well, who knows? Maybe that'll start sooner. But either way, I hope I see you guys over there. We're going to get out of here. Big Star Wars video coming out on the channel. Oh, by the way, too, that Disney Plus stuff should still be happening at some point today. So if some cool footage comes out, we'll cover that on the channel as well. Thank you guys so much for the love and for the support. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Chat, tell me you've got the video. You don't have the outro video. Well, guess what? That's 3 strikes, motherfucker. Stand up. Yep, come on up. Show's over anyways. I don't need you anymore. Get out of my face. Get out of here. Go. Go.